What is going on, everybody? On here, and it's time for this week's distribution update. A little late, been a long day, so I'm gonna try to blow through this as quickly as I can. But before I get started, just real quick to touch on Magic since it's on the first screen here. It's been very, very interesting to see all of the Secrets of Strixhaven Codex bundles getting dumped on Amazon. Also saw yesterday, I believe, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collector boxes were being dumped on Amazon. So what's fascinating is it looks like, as we anticipated, Wizards of the Coast has printed a lot of these ancillary items. They've held a lot of stuff back in the warehouse to really create the perception of tight print runs. And then as things loosen up, they proceed to dump the shit out of them on Amazon. So we know that is the devil that we know. We know what they do. So it's really our job and responsibility to figure out how to best use that to our advantage. So that being said, let's get started here. So Dragon Ball Super. Let's see. Stuff's still going crazy here. Ultra Bout 5. Looks like the orders are passed pretty much everywhere this past week for that. And then let's see. I don't think we have FB12 out yet. But this game is absolutely zooming. It's going nuts. Again, we have a new series of the anime coming out here. I think the end of 2026, potentially early 2027. I don't know, but I would highly recommend, if you're in organized play Bandai Plus, you probably want to start running some of this stuff. I have a feeling that sooner rather than later, Bandai is just going to go to pre-allocating everything when it comes to every single one of their games. Moving on, Digimon, I'm not even going to talk about that one. Final Fantasy, just very, very briefly, quick turnaround on the newest set here, Memories of Life booster box. The turnaround period was only like 5 days, 6 days, which I thought was really, really interesting. And I don't know why, but I do want to mention Dreamlike Ocean's booster displays, booster boxes. So these came out at about $55, $54, $53, somewhere in that area. And it was a pretty sizable price increase based on what they termed tariffs. So, in my opinion, the set was probably a little bit more under order than usual. But the boxes are sitting at $75, and they perform very, very well. I actually have people reach out fairly often about buying cases, master cases. Now, I've taken, I think, all of these down from TCG Play at this point, just because it's a race to zero there, but they do sell on eBay, quite honestly. And then we obviously sell, quite a few through Discord as well. Just something to pay attention to. The other thing with this Memories of Life booster box, there's something special about this that I saw. Yes, 10th anniversary of the series, of the Opus series, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what any of this shit means, but generally speaking, when you see an anniversary set, it's worth buying because there's going to be something special in it. 35 full art premium cards. So that and a quarter, just bringing it to your attention. Flesh and Blood. I do want to talk about this briefly. So we have Omens of the Third Age coming out shortly. I'm going to release date restock pre-order. I don't know what that means. It's the first I've seen that. But it looks like with the first wave, Legend Story Studios is short shipping purchase orders. Because I know in my initial discussions that I've had with distribution, nobody seemed to think that there was going to be any allocation. Then all of a sudden, I got cut by approximately 50% across the two distributors that carry Flesh and Blood. And from everything I can tell in my discussions, it's because the purchase orders came in lighter than what I thought. So I'm guessing one of two things happened. Either LSS, I'm guessing they probably didn't cut the print run back. They're either holding things back for a second wave, or they've redirected a lot of the product to, is it Nationals? That comes out in the next a week or two after release, just to make sure there's enough product there It's somewhere in the U.S. and I looked it up, and I don't remember where it is. Is it Vegas or something, or New Orleans? I don't know. Some place that's not on the East Coast, I don't believe. So I don't know what's going on with this, but it does look like the supply at release is going to be a little bit lighter than normal. Might not matter, but I do want to mention that because I think it's relevant. Everybody's favorite, Godzilla, the game that keeps on giving because for whatever reason, there's not a lot of it, and people keep buying it. Oh my God, I can't even talk tonight. BPO4 comes out this coming Friday. We're going to run a sale on it in Discord. I think I have 250 boxes, 254, whatever the number comes out to coming. They're cheap. They're bite-sized boxes, $45 at distribution price. They sell, they move, people like them. And quite honestly, there hasn't been a whole lot of downside risk. Now, liquidity isn't spectacular, but look at the first set on TCG Player. Last time I looked, there was like 17 boxes left. And they keep selling. So it's moving in the right direction. I just wish Toho would do a little tiny bit of marketing. Moving on to marketing. Speaking of marketing, Gundam. So we have in June, we have EBO1 coming out. We also have GDO5, which is so EBO1 is a specialty set with reprints from the first couple sets, and EBO5 is the anniversary set, which I think is GDBP. It's freaking same shit. Here we go. Yeah, commemorating first anniversary. But what I do want to mention is that while the player base of this game is still continuing to grow at its really the usual pace of a TCG, New Type Rising, almost $400 fucking a booster box. There's under 60 left on TCG Player. It's gotten to this magical north of 5,500 booster box number, which I talk about quite often, and that just seems to be some sort of number as it relates to the total addressable market with Bandai games, with Bandai games, with Riftbound. It seems to have worked there, and then with some other things, Magic the Gathering, to some extent, where just the amount of product starts to dry up and things just start to go parabolic. And that's what's happened with New Type Rising now. Dual Impact isn't quite there yet. In fact, set 3, which is still Requiem, has actually passed Dual Impact with the total number of boxes sold. And it's important to look at the boxes sold and also the cases sold, because still Requiem GDO3 has sold just under 200 booster box cases, whereas Dual Impact was like 125. The cases are 12 boxes each, so it is a meaningful amount of product. But as we get into the fifth set and the first anniversary, the collectability is there. The cards are absolutely gorgeous, and there's value. And there's going to be people speculating in Gundam, and the FOMO hasn't started to hit yet. Again, we're going to have some idiot Timmies in the comments section that are like, well, Anon, you said the boxes are going to be infinity $1 billion. They're going to be $500 here relatively shortly. They're probably going to be north of $1,000 at year end. And God forbid if there's a little bit of FOMO in these products and they start to get hype like some of the other Bandai games, who the hell knows what's going to happen, because there's just none of it out there. So that's the positive side of the equation. Oops. Yeah, we'll touch on the negative side in a little bit. Lorcana, again, I talked about this last week. Wilds Unknown looks like it's moving. I can still get product from distribution, but it is drying up relatively quickly. So I don't know if the print runs down or if the demand is up. My guess is it's probably a mix of both. What's the last set? Winter Spell can still be had at distribution. There's not a ton of it, but you can still get it there, which is a little disheartening. But we'll see what happens with Attack of the Vine here. This is a Pixar set. So hopefully they continue to tighten things, and they just don't fuck it up, because they're moving in the right direction. You never know. My Little Pony TCG, apparently there's supposed to be some marketing from Kaio coming out here. They told me early May. I don't know. The boxes are selling reasonably well. It's an underserved niche in the market, and quite honestly, it's underserved for a reason, because the total addressable market isn't that large compared to some of the other demographics. But it is what it is. One Piece, really not a whole heck of a lot to talk about here. We've had EBO5, Extra Booster. The order windows, I think it's actually closed today. And these set sale decks, I think there's a pack of OP17 here, which makes it kind of interesting. But really not a whole lot going on with One Piece. OP14 has really started to move up. Again, it's gotten to that 5,500 plus box number. Again, this is just a ballpark number I use in my head, because it seems to be directly correlated with how quickly the supply dries up. The numbers are going nuts. OP15 is not quite there yet. I think the most fascinating thing is EPO3 has only sold like 3,200 boxes. It is so far away from drying up in product that it's kind of slowed to a halt, which is really, really interesting. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, on to the negative. Riftbound League of Legends. UVS, stop fucking printing cards. I understand you want to get things into players' hands. You want things to be affordable. You're about to have gone too far. So Unleash has come out. The boxes are selling right around MSRP, which I think is like 125, which is okay. The problem is we have more Spirit Forge coming out. It's not a huge amount, but we did get some through Universal. It looks like there's some coming through PhD, which means it's probably coming from everywhere. Now, a lot of it just goes directly to organized play shops at this point in time. So there's not a ton of it, but it's getting to the point where enough is enough. You hit a third reprint of a set that's not performing. It's performing okay. Spirit Forge is sitting at $150, but it's not sitting at $300 that Origins was at. You guys just reprinted Origins. It obviously had the intended effect. It took the price down to $200. Now it's starting to rebound. That should be the last reprint of Origins, and then just call it a day. Let the market do what the market does. 95% of the beauty of Riftbound in the early days is the fact that the boxes have collectability, they have financial value, and the product is appreciating. You guys just dumped the living shit out of Proving Grounds, and the price went from $250 to like $40, $45, because every broke-ass Timmy store in the world is dumping it, trying to make $10. And for those of you who haven't handled Proving Grounds, they're good like $25 to ship, depending on where you ship them to, because they're big, they're bulky, and they kind of suck. So yes, my word to the wise, stop fucking reprinting boxes, because you're going to destroy this game, and you're going to destroy the IP as it relates to TCG. And then UVS is not going to have any games that anybody cares about. And quite honestly, neither is Asmodee, but that's a different conversation. So yes, this is an interesting one, because they're kind of at a teetering point here on set 3, as every game does, where they've printed enough product. You now have to continue to drive collectability into the game. And if people don't have confidence, or they lose confidence that you're going to continue to print this stuff, then you end up like Sorcery with Beta. They're on their 17th fucking reprint. Arthurian Legends, more product coming to market. Like, I know the game's not that old. You're not quite a year into everything yet, but there's a point in time where you just draw the line and say, you know what, we're moving on. And I believe you guys had mentioned that by set 5, you're no longer going to print set 1, but I would audible that, because you're going to lose a lot of audience here very, very quickly. So that is the negative talk. So Gundam positive, Riftbound, and little negative here. They just have to watch themselves. Nidorino. Okay, you can click anytime you want. There we go. Super tight here as well. Again, we'll see what happens when we get to time I got reincarnated as a slime. I believe is the first brick and mortar only set. So we'll see how it performs. We have Sakamoto, which it looks like it's come off the list here. Oh, excuse me, it's late and I'm exhausted. Because I think the set comes out this Friday. So other than that, I do want to talk Weiss. We do have Nikki set 2. Order window closes, looks like early, not the end of this week, but the middle of next week. So that will certainly be interesting. I do question how many folks are going to buy as heavily as they did the first set, because the first set's performed okay. I mean, look, the boxes are $75. Most people were able to buy in at $40 to $42. But Bushi is hammered. That was so many reprints. You had the second print, the second wave, which was an actual reprint of first edition, and then you had a second edition. Bushi's going to Bushi here. So I think a lot of folks are probably going to stay away from this because, look, making 50% on a Bushi game that's not super liquid, not the best thing in the world. So anyway, moving to Yu-Gi-Oh! For those of you who don't know, on Friday, they spoiled the September set. The September set is, oh my God, Magnificent Monsters? Something like that. I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh! God damn it. There should be another set here. I don't see it. I think it's Magnificent Monsters or something. But they have announced that they are going to have serialized cards in that set for the first time. I have no idea what it's going to look like. Generally, these sets are print to order. If you're going to put serialized cards in the boxes, this set's probably going to be over ordered. People are still going to buy it because they're going to chase serialized cards, which, if it's anything like the Japanese sets with serialized cards, they're going to sell for, they're going to be in the 5 figures. So I'm guessing they're going to print a fixed amount and then they're just going to allocate it. Because if they start printing to demand, it's going to get really, really weird, really, really fast. But anyway, I just felt the need to bring that up about Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that is a dramatic sea change to what they have done in the past. Moving on, let's talk Pokemons real quick. Not a whole lot to talk about. Obviously, this weekend was Mega Evolution's Chaos Rising. It looks like the price of the products is hanging in there very, very strongly at $250, $260 a booster box. I do not think this is going to get anywhere close to $200. I think the ETBs are probably going to bottom out at $80. Booster bundles probably $50, $55. Because it looks like that Chase Greninja, the SIR that everybody said I'm insane, it's going to sell for $400, $500, $600 out of the gate. And then you have the Froakie and Frogadier, I think. For SIRs, they're going to have value because people are going to buy the set. People are going to buy the singles. They need to buy something. So I think this set's going to perform extremely well. Moving to Perfect Order, we still do not have Wave 2 booster boxes. I have no idea when they're coming. I have not heard anything from anybody at distribution. My guess is the Pokemon Company has been sitting on them, just waiting for the market to work through, because the last thing they want to do is dump a bunch of product on the market and watch it tank. So, be that as it will. I did a video last night or the night before, just on some of the product that's been overprinted versus some lesser, worse sets, lesser in demand product that only had one print. Perfect Order ETBs with the giant, what on there. $700 a case. They're worth a pickup because for those of you who haven't seen, Journey Together ETBs, which were garbage for the longest time, are at like $135. That's almost a 2x in a year on that product, and that is at an inflated price because they came out and they were $80 at release. So it's worth looking at. Have not gotten or heard anything about Wave 2 Ascended Heroes booster bundles or the EX boxes. I know they're all done, at least the booster bundles. The Xbox, I'm not quite sure. So at some point, we'll get those. I do want to mention the Chaos Rising sleeve booster boxes. The amount of these that hit distribution for this set has dramatically increased over the past few sets, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just easier for them to package these versus some of the other items, so they're trying to get more product out. If it's the fact that this is a lot of the product that had historically gotten directed to Latin America that's staying in the US. Or, I mean, I can't imagine it has anything to do with big box stores. So we can just scrap that one. To be determined, Mega Zygarde box is coming out. It looks like it's 8 packs. It's 6 Chaos Rising and 2 Phantasmal Flames. Was what it looks like. And then in a couple weeks, we have the Mega Moonlit tins and Luminosity tins. And then we also have First Partner Series 2. I have no idea what packs are in these, and I won't know for a while. And then we have Mega Greninja Premium Collections. It does look like these are a little bit lighter. Have almost all of our allocations in, and it does look like the overall supply of this is a little bit lighter than what we saw with Mega Zygarde, which I think is kind of interesting here. And then we have Pitch Black, which we go into 7/17. So it's just back to back to back. So it's gonna be a fun time. The question is do we have Wave 2 Mega Evolutions booster bundles or Wave 2 Perfect Order booster boxes by the time we get Wave 1 Pitch Black? That is the true test here because it's absolute mayhem. So moving to Magic. So as I started the video here, looks like they're dumping a lot of stuff on Amazon. The Codex bundles have not seen Strixhaven collector boxes in the last couple days. They were dumping those for a while. They were also dumping Turtles boxes yesterday. So one of the things I've been thinking about is the delay in Commander displays is most likely a production-based delay because the last couple sets, the print date on the box, again, this doesn't necessarily mean that it truly correlates with when the box was packed. It is many months in advance of the release of the set. So I'm not quite sure why we don't have everything in, other than the fact that it's probably production delays, could be paper delays, it could be anything. But when it comes to the bundles, the only thing I can think of with these bundles, because we haven't even gotten Wave 2 of bundles out. I mean, this fucking set's been out for a month now. I'm guessing they got a very, very large order in from a big box store or multiple big box stores or Excel or MJ for big box stores, and they decided to push all of the bundle supply to big box stores because they had them for release and basically fuck over distribution and local game stores. That is my guess. I have no proof. I have no evidence, but that is 100% something that Wizards of the Coast / Hasbro would do. And the more I try to correlate the bundle itself with Commander displays, I don't think there's any association with them. But again, could be wrong. Just my guess. So Marvel, hoping to get the rest of the allocations this week. I think I've told you guys before, it does look like things are a lot tighter with Marvel than I think what most people expected. The Jumpstart booster boxes are way, way down. I'm at like 20% of what I got for Avatar, which is great, by the way. because people didn't want that shit. Commander decks are way down. The same with regular bundles. I think the overall allocation numbers are down just because of the production issues with the commander decks. With the bundles, I'm guessing they're just pushing a bunch of stuff to whomever placed the large order, if that is theoretically correct for Strixhaven. Because again, when Strixhaven went nuts, all these stores could be like, hey, you know what? We're just kidding. We don't want to push back. We actually do want more of this stuff. And I think even Micro Center had far fewer collector boxes of Strixhaven than what they've had for the last couple sets. So it could have potentially been those guys. But again, who knows? All bets are off. Other than that, not really a whole heck of a lot else out from Marvel. Collector Commanders look like they're going to be as tight as Final Fantasy. So that's something, I guess. The Hobbit, really not a whole heck of a lot to talk about here that we haven't talked about in the past. There's no commander decks. The rest of the SKUs are going to be fine. You have the Gold Smog, which is apparently the headliner. And then you have Reality Fracture going in October, which is really the last set of the year, unless you want to count Star Trek, which, again, all bets are off there. The fucked up part about Reality Fracture is you have one commander deck, so it's going to be the same deck 4 per, again, like Turtles, which did not do well for Turtles, even though the deck was great. It did not perform well. And then we have these Foundations commander deck cartons that are 5 decks. Now, they're super cheap, which is good, but who knows what the power level is going to look like. I just have nightmares of Pioneer decks dancing through my head, so hopefully I'm wrong. And then we have the Reality Fracture Secret Lair bundle. This is basically a mirror image of the Codex. So for those of you who haven't figured out what these guys are doing, they're still trying to push the same amount of product out, but to create the perception that the market's not flooded with play boxes and collector boxes, they start creating all this bullshit ancillary stuff like the Draft Nights, the gift bundles. Now we have these Secret Lair bundles or the Codex bundles, which have 2 collector packs and then 6 regular packs. The normal gift bundles, I think, had 9 or 12 or 9 and 1, so 9 regular and 1 commander. And then the Draft Nights had 1 regular and 12 play packs. So it's all over the board. But yeah, all this ancillary bullshit is just a way for them to launder more product into the market without people saying, holy shit, you overprinted a bunch of this stuff. It's basically, pay no mind to the man behind the curtain. And, oh yeah, there's a squirrel, don't pay any attention. Other than that, I think, as I mentioned before, I am expecting reprints of Phyrexia All Would Be One, LCI, and Wilds of Eldraine set boxes to come here in Q2, potentially early June, and then Lord of the Rings set coming in Q3, right around release of The Hobbit. That is everything as of now that I believe is on the schedule. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and have a great week.